Women Matters und today is the 1st of December. Christmas is coming. Uh,
Only Christmas. Who is coming? Beatrice.
yes, this is
Hi.
coming. Good. So we start as always with a short check-in, and then I already have intuited that we will talk somehow about gifts and Christmas and what, I don't know what. Let's see. Monia.
Okay, in Vienna is Christmassy, so we decorated and we have stars twinkling in our windows. I mean, they don't twinkle, but they look like that. And my husband even, we have a little live Christmas tree on the balcony, and he decorated that with lights. And then we have, so it's very nice, and we have a Christmas wreath, Adventkranz, and yeah. So it's we are starting the season very early, and I wonder if we just will hold up for 24 days, but we'll see. I pass on to Beatrice.
Mhm.
Uh-oh. That was quick. Thought I'd have some time to warm up. Um, Christmas. Hello. I'm in Portland. It is, I don't know, winter here is a little bleak. It's very gray and if the sun comes out, it's a rare opportunity and you feel like a cat and you have to chase the sunbeams and crawl into them before they disappear. It was sunny yesterday, which is nice. Today it is gray. Um, I think we don't, if we get snow, we don't get it until like February
Oh,
or so. It's usually later in the winter. So it's just a lot of gray and a lot of rain. But Christmas lights are up. That's nice. And we have Christmas lights on our house year round. So now it's in season. Um, yeah, I don't know what much else I have to say. It's Christmas feels far away for me because I have 19 shows of Nutcracker ahead of me and a full week of teching the show and all of that ahead this week. So, but I'm gonna go home to San Diego for Christmas. We might we might join Galen's family in LA at his grandmother's house because she can't travel anymore.
hmm.
And they used to do Christmas there and they've invited all of us. So we might do that for Christmas itself. But anyway, I'll get to spend time with my mother. I'll pass it to my mother.
As you all probably know by now, this is the only time I ever get to see Beatrice because even talking on the phone, she has an Android and I have an iPhone, so we can't do FaceTime or anything. So we've had a couple of emergency Zoom calls when there's something really crucial or a bigger meeting. But so this is very exciting. My Christmas has already begun. Um, so yeah, well, actually, since Beatrice is here, it's an interesting. I've been debating how to navigate Christmas this year because of. Or am I supposed to do a check-in about the weather? I forgot this. I forgot the protocol.
Not about
Um,
the weather, but about you.
oh, okay. Well, about me. Okay. Well, weather-wise, it's beautifully sunny, as should be expected of Southern California. I'm having my roof put on, so I just came off a Zoom call, a very serious, like professional Zoom call a few minutes ago, and the person I was talking to said that she could hear all the pounding. So I don't know if you hear it or not, but I've got 6 men on my roof right now. So it's been a rough week because not only a huge amount of noise, but also and dirt and filth and but made big giant seemingly like life decisions about what to do with certain aspects of the house, and I'm just trying to like figure out what is emotionally based and what is practical and what is I don't know. It's just been a weird sort of Auseinandersetzung. Luckily, all of you know what that word means. With emotions and memories, and because even the house itself, in some weird way, represents my, my deceased husband, Beatrice's father. So I had this dream of like building a Taj Mahal for him, and I'm having to like scale it back just to have a roof, so I don't have a swimming pool in my room. So that's my check-in. It's been pretty traumatic, I have to say. And over to Gertrude.
Yeah. What should I say? Weather report. It's completely dark here, and it's been rather warm for the months, and I've been busy. I've been like planning one training in January. No, two trainings, one instant change and one for WeFlow, in two consecutive weekends. And it's like, whew, today was a very, very busy day. And yeah, just a lot on my mind and a lot to organize. Hi, Christine. And yesterday I came across a new thing. You're used to me. It's called Healing Humans. And I immediately booked a date for Friday because it was so like, what do you say, appealing? Or so, yeah. So I can tell you more about it next time. And as you know, my learning is my ongoing destiny till I get, yeah. When I hit the 90s, I might still attend any.
It's the essence of your life. Learning.
Yeah, it's not only learning, but also share that with others. So like so if my heart is full, I want to just, yeah. So, and planning for Christmas is kind of, yeah, we're going to the middle daughter, and the other one comes from Hamburg. So we're not celebrating here, but at my daughter's. And I'm very much looking forward to see my grandchildren and children. So it's really nice to look ahead.
We might meet another time before Christmas. It's only the 1st of December.
Yeah, feels like it's around the corner.
Okay, Christine. Good that you are here.
Good morning. Sorry, I am late. Yeah, I was talking to the contractor who's at our house bright and early, working on a project we have going. So it's been interesting, dusty, dirty, can't find things because we packed them away. Where are they now? Who knows? So little chaotic. But it's all for the good. Thanksgiving was very nice, quiet. My eldest daughter was with her in-laws, so that was, now we got to share her. Gosh darn it. So we didn't really get to see her or our new son-in-law for Thanksgiving. What else? I don't know. Just I'm counting the weeks. I retire on the 31st. I think I have 5 more Mondays in the office. So I'm counting them. I was thinking about extending my work, and the more I realize I really have no interest in it. So I'm putting things off and procrastinating and procrastinating. And I'm like, well, that should be a sign. My procrastination should be telling me something. So it probably is. Um, but I'll go to a training on Friday. And then after I do the training, I'll see how I feel about that. But Lorraine is still in New York, so hopefully she will join us later on in the month, maybe at the next meeting. I will encourage her to return. Um, so everything else is good.
Good. Hello, Tina. Good to see you too. Do you want to do your check-in?
Sure. Thank you, Heidi. Again, sorry for being late. Monday mornings are always a little busy because I'm out. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm feeling kind of rested. I'm hoping to wrap up my ethics tomorrow with my professors. We'll see what I hope for and what actually happens. But it's been kind of a pleasant weekend, spending time with friends and a lot more socializing coming up because that's the season we're in. So feeling pretty good. Yeah. Thanks.
So I'm left for the check-in. It's dark, and it was yesterday morning, it was ice on my window screen from the car when I wanted to go. So that was surprising. It hasn't done it for a few years that it was really ice, but okay. But during the day, it's more or less warm. And I did some more olive pruning today and doing things and preparing for a new trip to England. And Christmas, I probably will be alone, but after Christmas, I won't be alone. So it's good. We were thinking when we met before recording, we might talk about what Christmas means to us, what we are doing for Christmas, what the gift. Monia wants to persuade me to bring gift to my new man to England. I have only a rucksack, and I hardly put my stuff in, and then I should. No, for at least for 30 or 40 years, I never did this gift thing with my family and my friends. So, when I'm invited somewhere, then I bring something, might be some food, or we have yesterday agreed on 31st of December that my neighbor up here, she will host us. Everybody brings something because she has a panorama. You see all the lights at night in all directions. And we will see how that goes. Then I bring something logically, but because it's Christmas, I have to give gifts to everybody. It seems to me absurd. When I want to give something to somebody out of a reason, because I think it might be a good thing, then I do it during the year. But why to Christmas? No, that's not my.
So you are already going to the topic, and this is your check-in, or
I have checked in. I said that I'm already in the phase of transporting you into the topic. So, okay.
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 Our second daughter, who now lives in Carinthia in the south of Austria. Beautiful snow there. It's just very Christmassy, but she created a WhatsApp group today with the title Coming Home for Christmas. Just me and her older sister and she. Just her, my older sister, she. And a little car with a Christmas tree on top. So that's very funny because we have to organize whatever is going and who is where and when. And so that's new because usually we all came together at my older daughter's. and who lives just next block, and had a very nice meal. And then we waded through Christmas gifts because everybody gave everybody something, so that multiplies. And my second daughter tried to convince us that just one gift would be enough. But yeah, I have all my gifts ready, and I won't wrap them. I just put the name on it, and it's usually things to eat, but also some nice tablecloths, small tablecloths from the British shop with Christmassy berries and things like that. So it's quite nice. I love giving gifts. And I couldn't understand Heidi visiting her friend that she didn't bring one small, tiny gift to him, which he can open after or under the tree or something like that. She doesn't even have to be present when he opens it. Anyway, it looks like everybody has a different approach to gifts.
I just respond to you. I have not a good experience with gifts because I had, for my first marriage, I got stuff and a lot of gifts. And I had felt the obligation and to keep them and to keep them and to keep them, because people who give the gifts often are not aware that the other people, maybe they don't want that sort of gift. And then they feel like, oh, I can't throw it away, but I don't like it, so I have to keep it. So I'm not really favorable of gifts, not at all.
You sound traumatized.
Okay, maybe, yes.
Gifts. Well, I have a very clear approach. If somebody gives me something I really don't want, I said, well, that doesn't fit, or that maybe you find somebody else. So I'm very clear
nice
about it. I don't keep gifts that I don't like. And strangely enough, everybody knows what I like. So, and most of the things I give is something to eat or to use up in the bathroom, or bubble bath or marmalade jams. So it's it's all much appreciated as far as I know. And nobody was ever shocked about one of my gifts. Anyway, I pass on to whoever feels like gifted for this talk.
I have one big marmalade, but I cannot take it in the airport, in the airplane. So it stays home. Excuse me, Victoria. Go ahead, everybody.
Well, Christine and I were.
Yeah. I love giving gifts, especially if I can think of something that I know the person, it wasn't on their Christmas list, but I found something that I think they'll just love. I just love that feeling of surprising people and giving them the feeling that I've thought about them and know them well. Tom is a terrible gift giver, and he doesn't put any thought into it. There's a million things he could get me, and he always seems to be clueless. I mean, I don't know. It's like he doesn't know what I like to do, or I don't know. He's not good at it. He doesn't put any thought into it, which it's not his strength. And so I've come to accept that. But I love giving gifts. And maybe you just said you can't bring stuff on the plane, Heidi, but some olive oil from your property or some olives from your property would be a wonderful gift.
Olive oil, you cannot bring liquids in the airplane.
It's illegal.
Yeah.
Well,
and since UK left the EU.
Well, it's also an island, so it's like Australia. There are huge issues with if any insects or unknown sentient entities are coming into the country. So you're off the hook, Heidi. What?
Not even cheese you can bring there.
Oh, I know. No, I know. It's. I lived in Australia for 6 years. You can't take anything that even resembles food, except like a jar of Marmite or something. Which, no, I couldn't take that on the plane. I had to give a jar of Marmite to a newspaper guy. That's going into the United States too. Okay, enough of that. I'm not don't want to comment on customs specifically. What I wanted to say apropos of the gift thing is it can be very toxic. I just had a really unpleasant series of email exchanges with a very toxic friend of mine that I've known since seventh grade. I keep screwing up my courage and cutting her off and feeling my life is much more peaceful and pleasant. And then she weasels her way back into my world, and then it's then something. Then there's another rupture, and what it amounts to, and this is what I wrote to her in my last email exchange with her, which was just a couple days ago. My mother had a friend like that too, who my mother was very hospitable, very generous, loved holidays more than life itself. I was always giving parties and dinners and everything, just couldn't get enough of it. But she had some friends who were keeping score all the time. And she had one friend in particular who was constantly saying to her, well, you owe me, you owe me, you owe me. And a fabulously wealthy woman, by the way. My mother never had money, but she just had a big heart and she loved to cook. And so, of course, she was always behind the eight ball because she couldn't compete on the level of this fabulously wealthy friend. And I was amazed that the friendship stayed for decades. But right up until my mother's death, she was like keeping score and reminding my mother that my mother was behind and not going to win. And so I remembered this and wrote in no uncertain terms. I was really proud of myself after this. I'll have to report it to my therapist. That I just said, you are my friend is an amazing hostess, and it's like that's her creative gift. And she has beautiful china and silver and everything's perfect and glorious, and she's a fabulous cook. And she's very generous. She's Egyptian, and she has that whole Middle Eastern thing that just lavish. And she's always taking gifts to everybody all the time, even strangers. So I just wrote to her and I said, I praised her to the heavens. And then I said, because she was accusing me of not keeping up. And I said, I could never keep up, not in a million years. I said, so I am just, with all due respect and with great love and appreciation, I'm going to bow out of this. I didn't realize that this was a competition. And I'm grateful for everything you've ever done since I was born, and well, whatever. And but the trauma involved in this game, like Christine said, that's the way I look at gifts. It's like you see something that reminds you of somebody, and you think, wow, that's the perfect thing for so-and-so. That's a joyful thing. This thing of where I can see what Heidi's talking about, like if it's just an obligation because it's a certain time of year and you have to do a certain thing and it has to meet certain specifications and standards, then it's no fun anymore. And then it's not joyous. And then it is kind of, I don't know. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that into the conversation that there are different attitudes. Everyone, like Monia said, everyone has a different attitude about gifts. But I think from my experience, what I'm trying to do to empower myself is I'm trying to start being true to myself and not let people manipulate me, because it's just very painful. So anyway, sorry I talked so long, but that's my big share of the day. Okay, and I'd love to hear what other people have to say about that, because I think it is in human nature, this competitive thing that isn't part of the gift giving and generosity thing at all. It's a whole other parallel toxic thread.
There's an interesting one, which is in theater and opera and ballet, there's different conventions for gift giving on opening night of a show. And even though I've done this for years, I always forget because I'm so caught up in the work of getting the show up that it doesn't occur with the opera. I had a whole day off between our last rehearsal and our first show. I could have gone somewhere and gotten something. And I showed up at our last show, and there's all these things on my desk, the mini champagne bottle and a card and a keychain, and this is the opera. There were 7 or 8 principal singers. There was the design team of 5 people. There was the tech team that I was working, which was another 6 people. And then, don't count the chorus because then you really can't count. And what are you supposed to do? And but all these things were arriving at my desk, and I felt so guilty that I ran out of the theater, and I ran for 8 minutes up the street to a chocolate shop, and I got these little chocolates because, if I'm buying things for 25 people, I can't get anything significant because it becomes an expense. And I came back anyway, I handed the chocolates out and it was nice and they were nice chocolates. But um I don't know. I felt weird. It's nice to be able to do the gesture. My problem is I forget or I get too busy with other things or I'm too focused on something else and suddenly the deadline has arrived and I haven't figured out what I'm going to do. Which is going to be real. I mean, that happens every year with Christmas. I'm so occupied during Nutcracker. I don't really have time to go shopping, but and now there's many more people to consider because Galen's, it has two siblings, a niece and a nephew, a grandmother, possibly the other grandmother, the parents. There's a lot of people. Oh, an uncle. And I think last year they were going to try to do the one gift idea, and then nobody wanted to do it, so they didn't do it. What was smart though, apropos Christine, was they did make it last year. They made a Google Doc where everybody could write down things that they like. Not necessarily a wish list for Christmas, but like what kinds of things do they like? And then you could decide from that if there's something you're excited to give them. You didn't have to, but that was so I put, patterned socks on mine, and then I got, Galen's uncle who never knows what to give me as a gift. He always is always calling Galen to ask. Um, got me pairs of patterned socks that I love and I wear all the time, and he wouldn't have known that otherwise. So I don't know. Um, that was a ramble. Yeah, the obligation thing. I don't like the obligation thing either. And also, I can't stand to not be a part of it. So what ends up happening is I just scramble at the last minute. And I try to do both. I try to do the obligation and I try to find the perfect surprise gift that tells the person that I get them exactly. It's very ambitious and very hard.
Well, I find it kind of funny that we ended up on this topic this morning. Because I don't feel particularly traumatized by Christmas. I mean, Christmas has changed from my childhood where it was all about going shopping for my family and going to church and Christmas pageants and midnight carol services and cold weather and that's really shifted because my husband's not one for going to church, and so I've gradually over our marriage lost that connection. But I crave it. I still miss being in a church with candles and great music and singing favorite hymns. But I woke up this morning, and this I find it so funny. I was like, why I thought of this, I don't know. And I went, yeah, I remember like 5 years ago, you had that Christmas gift exchange, and you got to figure out something for someone you really liked, and there was a dollar limit. But because I was in love with rose gold, I got her what I consider an extraordinarily nice full-size umbrella that came to something this small that you could easily tuck in a purse, but when it opened up. And I thought it was the prettiest thing. And she sort of opened and went
Mm.
like this. I went, and I'm like, oh, I don't think I've had that reaction before. And I'm like, oh, gee, because it was a Secret Santa, so you didn't know who was giving you your gift. So I'm like, gee whiz, I sort of went a little over budget because I really like you, and you're looking at it like, why would I want an umbrella in Victoria where it rains all the time? Okay, but then I also remembered that the person who was my Secret Santa gave me all sorts of things that were crafty, and I dislike crafts, but they were actually fairly clever and useful. So I thought, well, this person went through a lot of trouble and very nice little gifts. I was like, it was very joyful for me. Um, but Christmas gifts, I try to come up with something unique for my husband, and some years I'm good at it, and some years I'm not, because he likes surprises. So if I can figure it out, I do. But if not, it tends to get a little practical, the things that we just don't buy for ourselves. But we always try to fit in something secret. For kids, it's more like, what do they need that they can't afford? Um, that's fairly simple. But I only exchange gifts with one friend, and we keep it fairly tame. It's not competitive. I've had those competitive friends, and I just recently got rid of one too, and I can't believe it lasted. I put up with it as long as I did because she kept score too. And it was very unpleasant, Victoria. And I know what you mean by score because she got worse in time. And it was very interesting how incredibly toxic she was. But I don't know, Christmas to me is just bringing people together. And I find that there's a lot of pressure. We've moved across this country, so we've usually been away from our family. And not possible to travel all the way across Canada and a miserable time of year to travel. But we got in the habit of bringing in, as we say, widows, widowers, and orphans. And so our goal is to bring people together for a dinner, and who had no one else to have dinner with, and so that they didn't feel lonely. And it's this loneliness that imposes, Christmas sometimes imposes on people who don't have family or friends who include them. So I have one more space at my table, and that's what I'm going to be looking for, one of the perhaps international students in my program who needs to be around a table. But yeah, that's what it is for me. It's not church anymore. And my husband's a little flamboyant with gifts. I'm pretty clever, but I'm just want to be practical because I don't need a lot, and I love things that I can consume. So Munya, I would love, nuts and chocolates and fun things that I wouldn't buy for myself. I love getting the food basket because to me it's been very carefully selected. So, and Heidi, what about chocolate? Nobody, if he doesn't need chocolate bonus, he can give it to you in perfect regifting. Ok, c'est ça pour moi.
I was raised in a family of 7 children. So there was a tradition that normally German families celebrate Christmas on Christmas Eve, and they exchange. But my family was like, we went to church, midnight church, or 10 o'clock maybe, and then in the morning we had the gift exchange, and there was always pleasant, and my family was not so pleasant at all times, my parents especially, but somehow we managed to have those times very pleasant. So for me, this is one of my good memories, and have everybody at the table, and we had this like a rule that everybody that not everybody just unpacks all the gifts at once, but just one at a time. So everybody could see what they got and rave about it. And and it took 2 hours or so until the last one was unwrapped. And everybody was happy because they were celebrating the gift of each and every one. And so it's kind of like, these are the memories I like to keep. And so we did it with our children. And sometimes friends were there, or we had an African student who couldn't go home. So we invited him here. And just so the little ones who still felt like, my children, or now the grandchildren, so who were old enough to do that, but young enough to enjoy it, and then they so we have everything underneath the tree, and then they pick some, and then there's a name on it, and the one who gets the present can choose the next one, and then the little one takes it. And this is so like how to spend time together and talking, and yeah, so I really, really, really like that. And my kids, even if they had families, they wanted to come here for the, we do it the 24th, but yeah, now they invited us to come to them so we don't have the work. But I think they really take on this torch and give it to the next generation, and everybody loves it. So yeah, I like to keep that, and it just little things. It's not about much or premeditated with the parents. So what do you want? What do you need? And not just, yeah. So we don't want to offend them if we just take something that they wouldn't give their children or something like that. Or yeah. So I'm pretty content and don't have any resistance. So yeah, I love to pick them out. I'm pretty last minute person, but still I love to wrap them and yeah, just put nice thoughts and love into it.
I remember being the baby of my family of 3 kids, and I felt a lot of pressure to believe in Santa Claus as long as possible because everybody wanted me to believe in Santa Claus. It brought them joy to feel like I still believed. And so I think I was like 10 years old, still trying to pretend like I believed in Santa Claus. But that was something I remember from my childhood, and remember giving my grandmothers hand lotion and handkerchiefs. Like every Christmas, they got hand lotion and handkerchiefs because there was nothing else they needed. So that was something.
You make me laugh because when our children were old enough, I said to them, it's okay that you know that Santa's not real, but Daddy doesn't know.
My grandmother used to put toothbrushes and floss and something like that in my stocking. And I was like, Grandma, this isn't from Santa. I was very mad that she was interfering with Santa's work by putting these useful things. I was like, Santa wouldn't give me a toothbrush.
Yeah, well, our Christmas is very much like Gertrude's, and even the dog gets presents. So, and the dog knows, so she waits, and then when she gets a present, she takes it to her bed, and she keeps it. So it's fun. But the first Christmas I was born during the war, and my grandmother made from a box, a sewing box. She made a manger out of that, and we still have it. So it's still, and my husband and the children, they just love to put the animals there. And I bought, now we have so many camels and elephants, and for the 3 main the Kings of Orient. And yeah, we have some. I also have a Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer circling around Santa's house. And whenever the grown-up children come, they have to find that, and they look at it, and so it's sort of tradition. And my husband, he complained because I said this year we have so many chocolates. We have one you put for 24 days, a piece of chocolate or two in each of these little pockets. And I said, well, we have so many chocolates. I don't want to. No, it has to be there. And so it's sort of a regressive, childlike attitude, and we don't mind it. It's yeah, we usually do it as Gertrude said. Somebody brings you your present with your name on it, and then watching when you unpack it and if you like it. So it's kind of nice. And I couldn't imagine a competition about the wife of my grandson. Last year, she made a bag, cloth bag, and she printed it and embroidered it very personally. I got one with for the squirrels, nuts, to put nuts in, and she wrote on it for elegant squirrel or something like that. So it was really creative and not just sport. And we appreciate it very much because she was really to give one to everyone. So it's quite a crowd already. So yeah, I wouldn't miss giving gifts. And my husband just asked me, well, have you used up your perfume? I said, yeah, but I don't smell it. Well, I like the smell of it, so he is going to give me perfume.
Himself.
I also
He likes to smell it. So
I can connect with what Gertrude said. It was also in our family, you know, the habit that we enter into the Christmas room and the lights are on the tree. And then first my father sang, we all, except my mother, sang Christmas songs. And then he read the first part of the Christmas Bible thing. And then the smallest could unwrap the packages first and so on. And normally it was books, and many afterwards we were sitting all with our new books and reading and so on. But you are right, Monia, I have a little bit of a trauma of gifts, especially of getting gifts, because I had a horrible aunt, a baptized aunt, not a real aunt. And she always, for every birthday or for Christmas or whatever, she gave me Aussteuer. She gave me
Yeah,
or
godmother.
silver spoon or something. And you know, with 8 years, you don't want to have one silver spoon for your birthday or for Christmas, you know. Or I still think about her like so far off, you know, how, and she was a dragon. And, you know, that was still, I think about her. She was hating women. And so I, as her female, yeah,
Goddaughter.
you know, it's enough. But this is certainly the gift trauma which I got from her. And then it perpetuated it, not always, but sometimes, yes.
well, I guess we all agree that Heidi could take some nice chocolates to her friend.
Yeah, I will, with nuts, and that is, it won't melt in winter, and it will be passing the controls. So that's a good idea. Tomorrow I get it.
And give our regards to him.
Yeah.
Monica and everybody else.
And tell him we insisted that you bring it.
You don't have to say that. But I had a godmother like that, who
Yeah,
was my father's eldest sister. And she was, yeah, that. And when we moved, she had to, so she took me for 2 weeks so my parents could move. So I was 6, 7, something. And then I heard her. She took money from my parents, and then he said you could give me a double, and I wouldn't take her anymore. And then my father and she were in a big fight, and she said, "Oh, you." Whatever swear word, and he slammed the door when he took me. And from that time on, I didn't get any spoons, silver spoons anymore. So I had to take the brunt of that relationship. It was till her death, and she was, yeah. So I know this, but I didn't let that be my trauma.
Mhm. No, it's not as bad as it looks like when I talk about it, you know.
Yeah,
Well,
but she was bad.
I had a friend, a female friend, 4 years older than I, and she was a Capricorn, and she hated gifts. My goodness. And that was really funny. But somehow I always found a book she liked, and I gave it to her for Christmas. So she couldn't resist. But yeah, it's rather strange. And I feel sorry for everybody who doesn't really enjoy the Christmas spirit, because this year we are going to enjoy it no matter what. It's
But Christmas spirit doesn't depend on gifts, please.
no, that's why we have all the lights up and all the
Exactly.
decorations and
And the candles and
candles, right?
good. I
Well,
enjoy it.
that's what I was going to say, that I always know that it's Christmas season, not only from all the beautiful lights everywhere, but I'm going to, like, I just looked at my calendar yesterday, like 15 different things before Christmas, which are all related to Christmas in one way or another, different festivals, because every ethnic group has its own festivals. And over the years, I've gotten to know people that are from the different, like the Mexicans have the Posada, and the Filipinos, this is my absolute favorite, I'm just insane for it, Simbang Gabi, which is you get up at 4:30 in the morning every day for 9 days, and there's a mass with tons of music in Tagalog, which I don't understand, but it's phonetic, and they put it up and you can sing along, and the whole orchestras, they all get up at 4 in the morning, and then they have all these beautiful lights they're called paroles. Anyway, it's like a whole cultural thing, and then they have a huge breakfast, and just the joy of the different cultures, and it all comes out at this time of year. It's I find it really exciting. Like the Our Lady of Guadalupe I'm going to like 5 Our Lady of Guadalupe things, processions and festivals and candlelight processions, and Aztec dancing with Palo Santo incense, and it's I don't know. So for me, that's the greatest joy, like way beyond any kind of gifts, because it's like constant excitement and celebration, and very inclusive. Like that whole thing of like, you know, the pressure of like the family thing of like whose family and how many people and how big is the table and who's making what. In these big community celebrations, it's such a big thing. All of that doesn't enter in. It's very open-ended, and so that's for me the spirit of Christmas.
And do you have Santa Barbara? The 3rd of December, you cut branches and you put them inside in water, and by Christmas they bloom.
Ooh. Well, I don't think anything blooms in California, but I could try. I could try.
Yeah, but you bring them inside. So
that's the Feast of Santa Barbara?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never heard of it.
It's the
In
3rd.
German, it's called Barbara-Zweigel.
Yeah,
Oh,
genau.
Barbara-Zweigel. Okay.
Yeah. So you cut branches, so like big enough, and then they get buds and bloom by Christmas. So that's That's a tradition in our, yeah,
I
where I
love it.
come from.
Oh, and then there's what is there's a Baum, that I don't know what it's called, and some of my Catholic friends told me about it. It's another tradition I didn't know about, where the O antiphons, the 9 days before Christmas, you hang them on a tree. You have a little tree in your house, kind of like a Easter tree.
Mhm.
Do you know about that? Is that a European thing?
I don't know. I don't know that. It's just you can take cherry, you can take whatever you want. You just have to cut them early enough, which is the 3rd of December, and then you put them in a vase and have them warm enough so they can just sprout and do their thing, and then you have like white blossoms at Christmas.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Of course, in California, it would be the other way around. Everything that you bring inside dies, and the things you leave outside will bloom beautifully.
Yeah, it has to be warm enough. I mean,
It's a
if you have
climate thing. Yeah, yeah. Well,
minus
that's
20,
what's
it wouldn't work. Yeah.
that's what's funny about the traditions. When I lived in Australia for 6 years, and it was all so bizarre. I mean, and my neighbor made this traditional English Christmas pudding, and every day she was pouring like a whole bottle of brandy into it. It was in her pantry, and then finally, when it was so saturated, it must have weighed like 1,000 pounds. She hung it up, wrapped in the cloth, on her clothesline outside, because in Australia it's high summer at that point, and then the heat of the summer sun, it like fermented even more and became this just like crazily alcoholic thing. It was delicious. But it's so funny to be like take like this very English tradition from the cold winter, the steamed pudding with brandy sauce, and then transport it to where it's this boiling hot summer and nobody wants a hot meal. And I mean, it's so interesting, these different traditions.
Guys, I have to say goodbye. I'll see you in 2 weeks. I gotta get to work. Love you. Bye.
Not
Love
so long
you.
anymore. Bye bye.
Yeah, we have discussed quite a bit of Christmas traditions, and I will think about the branches, because I have the apricot tree, which I want to cut away branches anyway. So it's not yet the 3rd of December, it's still 2 days. So I will cut some and put them inside and see if
Yeah, I think this is also like they cut trees to trim them and then take them inside. Yeah.
nice idea. Thank you. Ladies, we see again in 2 weeks, and then we will see what comes out. How many gifts you have already prepared, bought, sent away. We will see. And I will tell you if the chocolate has survived my chocolate hunger.
When do you leave, Heidi?
In Thursday, in 3 days.
Oh,
nice.
and then you're back
Nice.
here in 2 weeks? I mean, you're back there in 2 weeks?
I'm arriving in the afternoon. I hope I will be in time.
Great. Great.
Well, safe travels and have fun.
Have a
Yes,
fantabulous time.
thank you. I will. I'm sure I will.
You
Thank
should
you.
buy yourself some treats at Fortnum and Mason. That's what I would do.
I buy them there then.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye-bye.
I
Bye, everybody. Thanks.